I'm Brittany. Welcome to Sparkle Kitchen. I'm going to show you how to make pickles with probiotics. And what's really exciting about these pickles is that they have these wonderful probiotics in them that are going to aid in your digestive health. Okay, well, let's go over the ingredients that you need. First, you're going to need some filtered water, and it has to be filtered because there can be no chlorine when you are fermenting things. So make sure it's filtered. Then you're going to need some salt and some seeds to spice up the pickles. So I have dill seed and I also have peppercorns in here. And for other spices I'm going to use, I have garlic and dill, fresh dill, and some dried spicy peppers. So these pickles are going to be spicy hot dill garlic pickles. So for the first step, we are going to make a brine, and brine is just water and salt. So I'm going to take my salt, and for proportions, this is 2 cups of water, and when you're pickling things, you want to use 1 teaspoon of salt per 1 cup of water. So this is 2 cups of water, 2 cups of salt, or 2 teaspoons of salt, not 2 cups, that would be bad. All right, we're going to put that in there, stir it up. Make sure it's well incorporated. Then you're just going to set it to the side. Because now we're going to focus on packing our jar. So for your jar, just use a wide mouth mason jar like this one. And make sure you have cleaned it well. Not necessarily sterilized, but just nice and give it a good clean. And dried very well too. All right, so what you do is you put all of your spices into the jar first. So I'm going to put my dill seed and my peppercorns into the jar. And then I'm going to take my garlic and the spicy hot peppers, put those in there, and then I'm going to take 3 or 4 sprigs of fresh dill and put those in there like so. Just kind of like squeeze them in so that they're kind of like halfway down. And then we're going to pack it with pickles. So in order to make pickles, what do you need? Cucumbers. So I'm going to put my cucumbers in here. And it's best if you kind of lean it on its side like this and pack them in like that. And I should mention, it's important for your cucumbers to be the same size as your jar. So before you start this, get out your jar, measure your cucumbers, and cut them down to the right size. Those are going in there, and just kind of go around and pack them in. It's going to get pretty full. So got them all in there. I'm going to add a little baby one in there just to make sure it's tight. Okay, you can see how it's very full. And now this is an important step. So in the fermentation process, you want to make sure that all the vegetables are completely covered with your brine. And in order to do that, you need a weight that's going to weigh down your vegetables to keep them underneath the water. And what I did is I cut a cucumber to act as a weight. And I'm going to put this cucumber neatly into the jar and kind of like squeeze it down so that it keeps all of the other cucumbers in the jar. And you can even use 2 to make sure if it'll fit. Go! All right. Perfect. Now, we're going to put our brine into the jar. I'm going to give it a little more stir because I can see the salt at the bottom. You want to make sure it's well incorporated when you pour it in. Take your brine and your cucumbers and spices, pour the brine over there, and you want the brine to fill all the way up till you have about 1 inch on the top. But you want to make sure all the pickles underneath, not the pickles, the cucumbers, I keep calling the cucumbers pickles, and they're not pickles yet. So make sure that all of the cucumbers, to be pickles, are well underneath the water. All right? And then you're going to put a lid on it but it's important that you don't seal it all the way. You just want to seal it maybe a quarter of the way closed. So I'm just going to give it a tiny little twist, just like that. And then in order for the fermentation process to take hold, you actually have to place it in the right spot in your home. It has to be the right temperature, it has to be the right environment. And that right environment is right around 75 degrees. And in order to get that 75 degrees, sometimes you might need a cooler. You can put some ice down on there to keep them cool if your home is still hot and sticky in the summer. But go and find that spot. It can also be dark and dry as well. So you find that spot and you put your pickle jar there, and then you wait. And this whole process takes about 5 days. So every day, go in, unscrew your pickles, look inside, smell them a little bit. They'll start to smell vinegary. They'll start to smell like pickles. And then, again, seal it up. Make sure it's sealed half-ish. And after about 5 days, you should have delicious pickles, and things will get like really bubbly, and they'll be really have that vinegar flavor, but without the added vinegar in it. And then once you're happy with them, you can tightly close the lid and put them in the refrigerator and keep them for about 2 months. And that is all there is to it. All right, enjoy!